Nice. Through the smoke. And then Khan's gonna get rushed now.
Yeah, there's no way he's gonna save that gun. And there he goes. It's gonna be 8-4, and fnatic is probably gonna save once again. And this is really looking...
What should they do differently in those scenarios, bearing in mind they constantly keep getting in scenarios where they immediately decide to save and go all the way to the B site? So fnatic just SK rather, just immediately starts hunting them. Like, what do you think you have to do? You have to just, like, hold but play really close up to the sites?
Well, the problem so far with, like, what I can tell from fnatic is when they played passive in the site, they've actually managed to get, like, at least 2-3 kills every time SK enters and got in like a close round. But then when they seem to play aggressive in middle, it looks like SK is just like ready for that, and they always seem to get those picks. So playing passive has actually worked way better for fnatic so far. And I mean, SK knows the other team's not going to go for it in a 5v2, so like there really isn't a whole lot you can do against that. Like, they have so much time, they don't even have to plan instantly. It's just almost impossible to save in those scenarios sometimes.
Actually, this reminds me of the point we made earlier. I forget in which game, but when earlier on we were talking about the fact that sometimes SK does have a little bit of trouble on the T side, or maybe they don't have a defined strategy in mind. But it does seem like you have to make the distinction that we're thinking of that in their games against some of the best teams in the world, like the elite level teams. So obviously against really, really good CT teams, then they can have trouble on T side. But as we see here, against like just good or above average CT teams, it's not necessarily an issue. Gux is now pushed halfway along the apartments with a FAMAS.
Looks like
and Peter's backing him up.
Looks like SK is headed towards B this round now. Falling back towards A, it seems like.
And the way they're actually holding the apartments now is one of the other ways they could have played this apartments/pit area, which would have been to have Peter draw the fire each time they come out, and then you just have Gux spraying onto guys looking at Peter. Whereas they did it pretty much the other way around.
He got flashed there and had to fall back. I think Peter still kind of pushed up. But no, they're both going to fall into the site. Let's see, Robin's kind of trying to walk into B though, so he's probably going to force fnatic to rotate. And there's the rotation from Gux. No, falls back.
Peter's going to peek, but gets killed immediately. Now GetRight's going to come out of balcony any second with the smoke.
DSN needs a pick here.
Khan all the way up to the right. If he goes quickly, he's got a chance to kill someone pit. Oh, he just misses the bomb planter.
I think Forrest is one bullet at Karn.
He did. He just literally did a 90-degree one bullet as he was like tapping crouch.
But DSN...
Nice.
With a big 1v1. With an AWP. Semi-close range too. Nice shot, Linder.
To be fair, how many times have we seen DSN shoot a nice no-scope at that exact spot of the map throughout like the last 6 years?
A ton.
Look at Gux. I just have a bad, like, I just feel like these guys, like GetRight and Forrest, they played with him on this map so many times, they know exactly how to counter him.
And you have to say, actually, of those three players, Gux is by far the most stubborn. Like, he has certain things he wants to do every round, and because he's so good, he can get away with them against almost everyone.
Yeah, but there's two players on SK that he cannot get away with them.
Well, I've always felt like that's one of the things Navi did quite well against fnatic when they had Gux in, was like, they managed to play quite well against his positions.
Karn with a shot on Robin, and it looks like SK is going to execute into the B site now.
Forrest just completely misses.
And, well, pair of entries from Forrest and GetRight. It's going to get the bomb down.
Two guys with FAMAS for fnatic.
DSN with an AWP. Gux getting spammed through the box right now. Peter's also down to 10 health, but so is Face.
DSN doesn't even get a chance to get his shot off.
Yeah.
Okay, so 10 rounds for SK. Like, and what are we going to place fnatic's odds at? Let's just get a gauge of where people's heads are at. What odds do fnatic have of winning this game?
Maybe 25%?
Yeah, I don't think their odds are very good, but their odds will significantly increase if they get the pistol and the first gun. They have to get those two.
How much do they
Or I-
increase
or
if they
don't.
do that, do you think?
If they get those two, then I think it becomes like a 50-50 game, depending how the money situation works on from there on out. Because
Yeah.
SK still has the possibility of just locking it down, because we've seen how good their CT on this map can be. But at the same time, if they win like a couple, like a 2v2, 1v1 type rounds, and then Fnatic just manages to win the next one, like that can entirely just rape their half.
Do you think we see DSN buy any ops and try and go up middle?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Never at all.
No.
I highly doubt he buys an op, but I would say there's like a 95% chance he doesn't.
So do FaZe and Robin play B now in SK, right?
Yes.
I think Face has always played B, hasn't he?
Yeah. But that makes for a pretty scary A side there. And the problem with that is because SK has Forest, Get Right, and Delpan playing playing A, which is like arguably like
The
three
best.
of the world's
Best
world's
one-side
top 10
setup.
players.
Robin might play A with Forrest, actually. Get right,
Hmm.
might be over there. I can't honestly recall exactly. They have switched it, so.
Oh, okay.
But,
well,
we'll see.
In any case, like with Delpan hitting so many shots and Forest in A, like if they can somewhat lock down that A side down to the point where they can at least keep winning retakes, that's gonna force Fnatic to go towards B. And if they can keep playing two players in the B side, it's gonna be like almost impossible to even get in there to get the bomb down.
That's actually one of the beauties of having Face in your team as well, because if you do have to rotate over, he's really solid at holding that site on his own.
Yeah,
Force
FaZe,
is, Face is, yeah, he's really good at getting like those two important B entries late round.
FaZe might actually be the best solo side player in the game now after MJ's gone.
Well, especially any small site, it's just like, it's his element, you know. And I think the games where he doesn't look that good and he doesn't get that many kills is mainly when they're always going to the other side.
Well, to be fair, I don't think he's that hard to counter, especially on Inferno, because I know a couple times we beat SK on Inferno with EG, we pretty much just went B. Like, we always fake A little bit, but we just keep going B, because FaZe likes playing very... Like, I don't know, he doesn't vary his play a lot. So if you actually just have an idea of how he plays, he's not that hard to counter there.
Yeah, I feel like you're a lot more likely to take Face at B if you do an actual strat there. If you go late round and just try to walk in or throw one, like,
yeah, I feel like
kinda
that's what
shitty
FaZe
flash,
is really strong at.
Yeah, you're not gonna get in on that.
Yeah, but especially if you can get that rotator out of there and you have like an actual execution to getting B. That can work out.
Okay, in theory, here we go. Do you remember what Fnatic did on the pistol round of the last Inferno game we saw?
No, but that was against a weaker team, so they're likely to not run a real pistol strat anyways. Let's see.
The guest here just gonna walk down mid.
Delpan
No.
taking a peek down mid.
Oh yeah, Get Right is just by himself. I had a feeling they might walk down mid, but I didn't think it would be by himself.
They were kind of hoping for Fnatic just plow holes where Forest and Robin are pushed up.
Get Right is up in the
Fnatic's taking
tower,
it a little
hiding.
slower.
Was that maybe a bait setup by pushing
It
Get Right
was.
down there, hoping to get a spot?
I was hoping for Fnatic to rush holes. And here they come.
Ooh,
Nice
huge
patience
Delpan.
there by Delpan. Get Right can still gear Khan if he goes middle. Khan was actually looking there, but he didn't see him. Face still at B.
They're gonna lose this round.
That's the value of that. That's going to be on HLTV.org for sure.
And Fnatic has to buy this round. They just have to, because they know Delpan's Well, Delpan might buy this round just based on assuming that no, Pizza's dropped a cult for someone else. Well,
There's
get
no
a bomb
bomb down
himself,
though,
but
so it's
yeah, but do you really think Fnatic has a chance of winning 11 rounds after going down 2-0?
I don't.
I really think this is another place where they have to risk it and take a chance. But they're just gonna save instead. And yeah, Get Right and Forest are playing A, so it is like I said,
Yeah.
possibly 3 of the world's top 10 most skilled players playing that side, so that's gonna be hard to get entries into.
I always thought Robin was actually a pretty
And
decent
Delpan
player.
gets taken right out with a nice bit of tapping by Gux.
Fortunately for Fnatic, Forest is not gonna let him get the bomb down. And well, that was a good eco by Fnatic nonetheless, getting 2 kills. But they would really have to have almost a perfect T site from this point onwards to have a chance of winning this game, so we'll see how it plays out, I guess.
Are you surprised they haven't gambled more?
I mean, they haven't really had a chance yet, but as a CT, I think their problem was trying to gamble a little too much, playing aggressively in middle. When they played passive, it worked out better for them.
SK doing an ult push face.
These basically the MTW push that the MTW does, where Ave goes where FaZe is currently. Sways
They don't
for-
have a
waits
fourth
for
guy.
this
Someone's supposed to pop flash ult, but they changed it or
Yeah, the
decided
fourth
not to do
person
it
is
properly?
pushed up holes now, so window
Yeah.
can't get
Trace
flanked.
normally stands with a flash out.
Contact
and
coming any second
pops
now.
The ult.
Delpan looking downstairs. Nicely pushed up together. Khan is up the tower. He gets spotted. Gux still with a lot of health.
Karn goes down, and so does Gux.
So
And now-
three kills for the entire Fnatic team.
2 of them on eco, and Fnatic can't even afford to buy now. So it's basically gonna be 5-14. Unless Fnatic just goes for now. They just get a couple of flashes and probably just gonna rush B, try to get maybe
They
like a
have the
bomb plant.
spawns anywhere. And that
they
I feel
depends
like
right
that,
time to do it.
They had a couple close rounds on CT. Fnatic had that they probably should have won, like the exist round coming out of halls. I really think if they got a couple more of those rounds on CT, they could have turned the half maybe into an 8-7 for them, and that really would have helped them a lot here. They wouldn't have been in such such bad position that they're in.
Yeah.
Assuming
'Cause
SK go on to win this map, does this make you feel like SK is legitimately like a whole step above Fnatic and Fnatic just aren't in the same league as them?
Well, I've already felt that ever since. I mean, they've already played plenty of times before this, and I think the SK has been. I mean, we couldn't have said that about the PETA lineup until we've seen it, but I think it's confirmed now that PETA just didn't boost them up enough to be on SK's level just yet. And I really think for SK
Do you think he
Fnatic to
boosted
get
them
there,
at all? Do you think this is at all different from the Mana lineup in terms of like performance level?
can't say so yet. I think what Fnatic really needs to start performing better is for Gux to play better. And right now he's getting shot down by SK. But we'll see. Fnatic's about to hit the A side now. And here's the execution. Jumping out of halls. Get right staying alive. And Get Right gets 3 kills in the end, I think.
Yeah, I feel like SK has a lot of skill, and they know exactly how Karn and Gux and those guys like to play in DSN. But I feel like Fnatic as a team is actually pretty solid, and I feel like they can get top 3 at this tournament. Just SK is too much for them.
Well, especially now that we've seen that Moscow 5 got eliminated in pretty quick games, you know?
Yeah.
I think they were one of the people who could have been dangerous if Fnatic had played them on the right map.